Zhang Yi lounged in his spacious bedroom, half asleep as Zhou Ke whispered a tentative suggestion about starting a family, hoping a child would anchor her beside him amid the growing number of attractive women. He brushed the idea aside, claiming he wasn't ready for such responsibility in a world still trembling from fresh crises, and their flirtatious banter continued with teasing remarks and promises of future demonstrations of his capabilities. Their intimate moment was cut short when Uncle Yu's steady voice announced Liang Yu's arrival. Unaffected by the stamina drug side effects thanks to his physical enhancement mutation, Zhang greeted the news with a wide smile, hinting at a concealed scheme he intended to discuss with her. He rose, opened the heavy alloy door, and invited Liang Yu inside, mocking Zhou's concern about a crooked mind and declaring the encounter an equal exchange. Inside the living room, Zhang immediately ordered young Xia to prepare a cappuccino for Liang Yu, noting that even plain water would suffice for now. He opened the door with his intelligence system, allowing Liang Yu to step into the shelter for the first time. The moment she crossed the threshold, her eyes widened at the opulent surroundings, a stark contrast to the Spartan Shishan shelter and the modest first life pod she had previously visited. She recognized the place as a palace amid the apocalypse, understanding why Zhang had rejected Chen Xinyan's recruitment offer in favor of this haven. Liang Yu shed her down jacket, revealing a modest, martial artist-suitable figure. Zhang, dressed in white pajamas, remarked on the jacket's dirty, oversized condition and asked why she wasn't wearing a combat uniform, which normally offers bulletproof protection and temperature regulation. She explained that the suit's temperature control consumes electricity, a scarce resource for most survivors. Zhang reminded her that his basement generator runs continuously on fossil fuels, granting him abundant power, whereas the government supplies only intermittent electricity, leaving many unable to even charge a phone. This disparity highlighted the privileged stability of his shelter compared to the broader world's struggle for basic energy. Zhang Yi welcomed Liang Yu into the warm living room, offering her a cappuccino prepared by young Xia. Though the sweet drink was not to her taste, the kindness of the gesture softened her mood, and she accepted the coffee with a grateful smile. As they settled, Liang Yu reminded Zhang Yi of their agreement. She would aid his counterattack on Shishan base in exchange for shelter and sustenance for her students. With the base now destroyed, she pressed him for more food, fearing her dozen or so pupils would soon run out of supplies. Without hesitation, Zhang Yi conjured a shimmering portal that spat out a towering heap of provisions, bread, steamed buns, spicy strips, chicken feet, enough to sustain the group for half a month. He selected a modest portion for Liang Yu, emphasizing that the bounty fulfilled their pact. Overwhelmed, Liang Yu thanked him profusely, feeling relief wash over her after fearing he might renege on his promise now that the Shishan base no longer gave her leverage. As Liang Yu began packing the food into travel bags, Zhang Yi broached a more personal subject, commenting on the heavy burden she bore caring for her students. He suggested that her pupils, though technically adults, behaved like dependent children, and he offered to ease her load. The conversation turned oddly intimate when Zhang Yi, with a mischievous grin, declared that his price for the food was simple: he wanted her as his tutor. Liang Yu recoiled, her face flushing with shame and anger, and accused him of trying to exploit her. Yang Xia, watching from a short distance, interjected with a teasing remark about Zhang Yi's possible romantic interest, heightening the tension. Zhang Yi quickly clarified, insisting he merely desired martial instruction, not any lewd proposition. The misunderstanding spiraled into a comedic exchange. Liang Yu, still embarrassed, apologized for the confusion, while Zhang Yi, amused, insisted she had misread his intentions. He then offered the tutoring role as an optional arrangement, leaving the decision to her. Finally, Liang Yu, recognizing the practical benefit of securing food for her students, reluctantly agreed to become Zhang Yi's martial arts tutor. The chapter closed with Zhang Yi smiling inwardly at the prospect of winning over the earnest, straightforward teacher, while Liang Yu prepared to balance her duties as an educator with the new, unexpected role. Zhang Yi met with Liang Yu in the shelter's modest common area, laying out a stark bargain. He would supply enough provisions for 10 people each day, and in return Liang would come to the shelter every morning for at least 2 hours of martial arts instruction. The agreement was not merely a tactical ploy. Zhang Yi confessed that his own close combat deficiencies drove him to seek instruction from the former bodyguard of a certain Hai, hoping the training might one day save his life. Liang, aware that her group comprised 16 individuals, balked at the shortfall, but Zhang Yi justified the limitation by arguing that overfeeding would breed complacency and that a perpetual sense of scarcity would keep his influence over her and her students intact. Reluctantly, Liang accepted, deciding to allocate the 10 portions to herself and a few students while forcing the rest to earn their meals through labor. Later, as the shelter's dim lights flickered, Lu Karen pushed a wheelchair carrying Yang Xinxin toward Zhang Yi. Their arrival sparked a terse exchange. Yang, ever the analyst, probed Zhang Yi's intentions toward Liang, teasing him about possible romantic designs. Zhang Yi, startled, sputtered coffee from his nose before admitting that his attraction was rooted solely in Liang's combat prowess and the strategic advantage she represented. He dismissed any notion of genuine affection, describing his feelings as pure exploitation and desire, and declared his plan to recruit her as a team member. Yang, satisfied that Zhang Yi's cold calculus remained unchanged, pledged her support, noting that she possessed deeper knowledge of Liang's character and could aid in persuasion. The conversation shifted to the broader intelligence landscape. Yang disclosed that she had been mining the Xishan base's information database, a relic of the pre-apocalypse government, and had uncovered fragments pointing to the existence of several other formidable armed factions operating in Tianhai City. Though the data remained unprocessed, the implication was clear: the destruction of the Xishan base had not eliminated organized resistance, and Zhang Yi's resources might soon be tested by new adversaries. Zhang Yi, ever pragmatic, listened intently, recognizing that the influx of intelligence could reshape his strategic calculations and perhaps provide leverage against looming threats. With the agreement sealed and the new intelligence hinted at, the shelter settled back into its routine. Liang hurried back to Shujia town, food parcels in hand, while her hungry students huddled in a snowbound hut, awaiting the promised rations. Inside, Zhang Yi reclined on a sofa, a blanket draped over him, eyes half closed as a television murmured in the background. The faint sound of a wheelchair's wheels echoed through the hall, a reminder that the fragile balance of control, need, and ambition now rested on a delicate exchange of meals, lessons, and whispered data. The stage was set for further maneuvering, with each faction aware that the next move could tip the precarious equilibrium of survival.